Welcome everyone to my channel. If you haven't been here before, Pulpacy, sit down. We are going to talk about Lord Loss by Darren Shan, the Demonata series. I forgot how many were in the series. Lord Loss. There's 10. Oh, I'll believe that. Yeah, I can believe that. So, Demonata, the series, Lord Loss, is the first one in the series. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, this is by Darren Shan, which I did read a long time ago, the Cruise Freak series, and of course I have actually read all of the Demonata series before. I want to read it all again for you guys, make sure I get a fresh reminder of what's going on inside of it, right? So, this is, the door feels red hot. As though a fire is burning behind it, I press nearer to the wood, but there's no crackle, no smoke, just deep, heavy breathing and a curious dripping sound. My hands on the doorknob. Inside the room, somebody giggles, low, throaty, sadistic. There's a ripping sound, followed by snaps and crunches. My hand turns, the door opens. Hell is revealed. Grubbs Grady is about to learn 3 things. The world is vicious, magic is possible, demons are real. A horrifying new adventure begins with this first book in the spine-chilling Demonata series. So this came after the Cruise Freak series. It's really good. This story is basically about Grubbs Grady, or Grubchish Grady. His little adventure into this book, not the series, into the world of demons and magic and viciousness. So, he gets in trouble at school, starts off with, he gets in trouble at school for smoking. And he thinks about when he sees his mom outside, but he doesn't know he's in trouble for smoking at school. And he thinks maybe somebody died. Dad, Gret, uncles, aunts, cousins. Gret is his sister. Grutard. I don't know how to say it. Sorry to all the people out there who has that kind of name. That's her name, okay? It's his older sister. Now, I think she's like 17 in this, and I think he's like 12 or 14. He's not that old. I think he might be middle school. They don't really say what grade he's in. But he gets in lots of trouble for it. And he gets grounded for like a month. And then he pulls he doesn't get grounded for a month. But he pulls a prank on his sister Gret with blood and fur and rat's guts. And that's what gets him grounded. And they're like, Mom wigs out a lot, and so doesn't his sister. And he doesn't understand why they're wigging out or anything like that. So he gets grounded for like a month. And then it's like almost a month is up, and his sister gives him a jersey and says that the punishment is over. And he's like confused because his parents have never revoked a punishment or ended it early. And then you learn about how the fact that his mom and dad are obsessive chess freaks and they make him play chess every single day. But there's a reason for that. So his dad says, hey, we've got these tickets to the show and we were wondering if you wanted to go. And he's like, nope. So like, well, you're going to go stay with your Aunt Kate because Sharon, your mom, doesn't want you to. Sorry, but Cal is not the man in that relationship. Then again, you learn there was a reason for it because they're supposed to have gone, but Grubbs is like, I know something's wrong, and family is supposed to stick together, so I'm going to go find out what's wrong. So he went home first, and that's when he found out about demons. Because when he opened up the door to his parents' room, his dad was dead, his mom was dead, and his sister was dead. I'm pretty sure in a gruesome... Well, his dad was missing a head. his mom was also dead. I don't know if she's got a headless head or not, but his sister's been split in two. And then that's when he sees for the first time demon familiars, Ari and Vane, and a demon who sits there and talks about Lord Lost, which is who he is. And Lord Lost is like, well, go get him. He wasn't part of the deal, so anyways, go get him. Die. So, sorry, I'm about to sneeze. So he's like, oh crap, I have to run away, right? So he runs for it, and he does eventually make it out, but that's not after he does get injured. And then he screams, busts all the windows around him. Now, how he makes it out, he makes it through a dog door, a very small dog door that he can't fit through, but he sails through it like he could and escapes. And since Lord Lost and his minions could not go anywhere else besides be in the house, there was nothing that they could do to go after him. So when the police went in, they saw the carnage that were his parents, and they believed that he saw something. Of course, but he wouldn't say anything besides they're demons, and they thought he went a little local crazy. And he did go a little local crazy because he went in and out of, reality for the longest fucking time. And when he snapped back into it, he wouldn't deviate, and he wouldn't let them help him, and he would just, demons are real, I saw demons, and demons are what killed my parents. And then his uncle, Dervish, comes along, and Dervish is like, you gotta give them something, and here's what we need you to do. So basically, the thing is that Dervish is like, I know they're real, but you have to sit there and lie. You just lie. And he's his father's younger brother. He's like, if you do this, I'll have a place for you. So that's what he does. He lies. And after a while, he gets better, and then he sits there and makes a request to go live with his Uncle Dervish, and they agree, and that's how he gets out of the insane institute. Yay! Healthy, happy. They'll be chasing after fake people who don't exist as the murderer of his parents and sister. Carsheri Vale is where his uncle lives on the other side of it. But he goes there. And he gets a tour of this weird ass house that has like a lot of history to it, and a lot of murderous, villainous history to it, as well as all of the history of his family, because his family is like one of the biggest family in the world. And yeah, he learns about the werewolves. Well, not the werewolves at first, but he learns about his family and all of them that died young. And I'm pretty sure he calls them something. They have a Gartex family. Fuck, what is their last name? I can't remember the name of the family, but their family is very long. He learns that his family has been battling werewolves for the longest time, and that is its family curse. His family curse. It's where Grady comes from. Is from that name. Gratarex. Anyways, he does eventually learn about the werewolves and how the young family members that he saw up in his family portraits, only the blood related were in there too, of who died and everything. And the young ones on there, he learns that they died because the curse comes in between the ages of like 12 I think, and 19. And obviously all the ones that are up there are all the ones who died. And it's something that randomly strikes, and the severeness of it randomly strikes. And he meets someone named Billy Spleen. well, as he calls him, Bill E. Spleen. And he's like, oh yeah, Dervish is my father. And I've got proof. And he lists a bunch of proof about it. He was very close. Dervish is actually his uncle. Grubb's father is actually Billy's father as well. And he had actually tried to claim Billy once his mother passed away. But he couldn't for a lot of legal reasons. And of course, you know, since Cal, his father, was very promiscuous and did not stay faithful to his wife at all, ever. It would have ruined a family at that. But the reason why they fought Lord Loss, his dad, mom, and sister, was because Gret was turning into a werewolf. And they're playing Lord Loss, who can cure werewolfism, and those who win 5 games against him. Simultaneously played, too. There are 5 games played simultaneously. So, you have to win all 5 games in order to win. But there's a lot of conditions to it. But regardless, they lost and died. Now, Billy is turning into a werewolf, but he doesn't know it. They both think at first, Billy's the only one who thinks it at first, that Dervish is turning into a werewolf. And actually, grabs a lot of information and figures out through investigations that maybe it's true that Dervish is turning into one. And then they meet a Marie Flame who comes into town. Just a friend who works there, they say. But technically they're working together, grabbing dead animals and burning them. Watched them bring in a dead deer, going down into the cellar, and then they came up inside the house, and he was like, wait, so that means the wine cellar has a way in and out. He investigates that. Lord Law speaks to him through a portrait, a book thing fixed to him, and it weeks him out. But he's like, okay. So he calls Billy up and he says, Dervish is a werewolf. We're going to have to investigate it and find out. So they follow Dervish one night, Marie, and that's when Billy doesn't learn it at first. Billy never learns it. But that's where Grubbs learns it is not true. Dervish is not the one turning into a werewolf. It is Billy. Billy's the one turning into a werewolf. And he literally knocks, and I do mean knocks, Marie out. Like, totally cracks her head really hard and knocks her out for like a good long hours, lots of hours. And so Dervish plans to summon Lord Loss, but he was hoping Grubbs would be his second. And he tells Grubbs everything that had been going on about the werewolves, about how Billy's his father, how Dervish never had kids because he didn't want to pass on his condition, and all about Lord Loss and how to stop the werewolfism. But Lord Loss, who plays chess, is like the most important thing. So the rules were made quite simple. What they did is that they found out Gardex, that's what his last name is. Dervish finds out, well, they all find out through looking through family history about where the first werewolf gene came from, and it was Bartholomew Graditz who talks about it with his children. They don't know where it came from, they don't know why it happened, or anything like that. But Lord Loss and Bartholomew played chess, and they played one game, one soul would be cured of werewolfism. And yet he lost eventually and died. He had a 59 winning streak before he died too. And when he died, all information about Lord Loss went away, and then a guy named David McKay found out about it because he had lost 4 of his 5 children to the curse, and he contacted Lord Lost for his youngest, who was starting to show the change. And so they made a new agreement on it. He said that somebody would have to partner Davy and fight the demons, his familiars, Lord Lost's familiars, while he played. And as long as Davy's protector lived, the familiars wouldn't attack Davy. But if his partner was killed, then he'd be free to slaughter Davy and his son. And another new rule was that the games had to be played simultaneously in a single sitting to heap on the pressure. And it had to be 5 games. And it had to be a 3 out of 5 win or lose. So 3 times win, 2 times lose. It's okay. And it was going to be played in the Demonata's universe and theirs, space in between. And in this between state, if Davy won, his son would be cured, and the boy and Davy's partner would be able to leave. But then Davy would have to enter Lord Lost's world and fight the Demon Master on Lord Lost's home turf. If he beat him, he'd walk free. But if he lost, Lord Lost would take control of his soul, and he'd live out his remaining days as a zombie. And they agreed. David McKay lost because his brother was overwhelmed by the demons. Davy was killed before even one of the games was decided. His son too, so they were all died. That's when they figured out that Lord Lost developed a taste for this new contest, and that's how this happened. Lord Lost like, hey, this is how the contest will go to all of Davy's relatives, which is, of course, that. Yeah, they did that. Of course, this means that since Grit was infected, his mother and father lost. His father played chess, and his mother was supposed to be his second to fight. And, of course, Dervish is like, I really wish I was there. I would have fought, or I would have played, and we would have been able to do it together. But he chose to have his wife in it, which, of course, she didn't have to do anything with it. She could have left when she found out about the curse and never looked back. But she stayed, and she fought. And, of course, they died. But, of course, he's like, I don't blame your dad for picking your mother. It's his wife. Obviously, he would have chose her. So, what we need to do is we need to do it. Okay? Dervish was like, I want you to stay by my side and battle Vein and Artery while I challenge Lord Lost at chess. And Grubs is at first, it's like, nope, won't do it. So he's like, oh, okay, I will go call somebody I know that can. And he's like, fine, I'll do it. Tell your friend you called by accident, but I'm going to do it. And then he's like, well, how will I be able to stand a chance against him? So Dervish picks up an axe and swings it at Grubs. And Grubs reacts in an instant, and he spins. He grabs it with his left hand, and then arcs it down, taking the speed out of it, and then raises it high to defend himself. And he's like, that's how you're going to do it. He's like, you guys spend all disbelief while you're in this realm. Magic is real. Don't think. Just react. But while he's fighting Vein and Artery, he's actually losing. And so then Dervish says, we'll switch. Grubs will play in my place. You will let me fight Vein and Artery. And he's like, okay, fine. And so he sits down. He loses one match against Lord Lost before he figures out that he's been doing things all wrong. So then he decides to just half-ass the game and be very, very mean to Lord Lost throughout it. And he's like, to be truthful, I just want this over with. Don't drag it out. And then he's like, yeah. And then he's just like laughing at him, calling him names, and they're saying, hey, look, I don't care about this game, so why would I take an interest in it? I'm not. So then Lord Lost starts, that's when Lord Lost starts losing his edge to the game and taking longer to make decisions and to move. And he loses, he wins 2 games in a row, then he loses 1, and then it's the final board that they're down onto. And of course, he wins. But he didn't see it himself. Lord Lost did, and Lord Lost tipped over his king and said, checkmate, you won. And then he's like, I will allow Dervish to fight me in my realm because I'm done with you, but you'll get your come-ups later when I do it. And he also killed Vane, I believe, because Vane wouldn't listen and kept attacking Dervish. And then Lord Lost healed Dervish's body and then took him into his realm to fight. Billy came back. He was told a lie by Grubs. Grubs said, oh yeah, it was Dervish. But Dervish finally was able to take a cure. But before Dervish left, Dervish told Grubs that we don't know if the curse will come into you or not. Call Mary if you want to fight it. And he's like, I'm not going to. And he's like, okay, well, we have a saying. And the wolf shall lie down with the lamb. That's their saying. And basically what it means is that they have their own executioners. They're called the lambs. And the lambs, when they're called, they will come and kill who they're told to kill. And they will not stop at nothing because you cannot recall the order if you change your mind. Nope, you said, hey, I'm wearing a werewolf, come kill me. They will literally just come kill you. They won't care. They don't fucking care. It's part of the whole thing of them taking care of werewolves and family members who can't end their own family members' suffering and misery if they don't want to challenge Lord Lost. Now, Dervish's body is comatose. Like, it can move and it can eat and it can go to the bathroom, but it can't do nothing else. He's not, his body, his mind, his soul's not there, so he can't do nothing else. And it takes a good over a year and a half before Dervish reappears. And Dervish plays a prank on him, covering him with dirt and red paint and fuzz from a carpet to make him think that he ate something while he was sleeping that night before and he doesn't remember it. And he went to go call the lambs and he's like, Grubs. And he turns around and he goes, the look on your face, and starts laughing. And Grubs just grins because he's like, yay, my uncle's back. I didn't lose my uncle. I didn't lose my uncle. I didn't lose my uncle. He's back now. I don't have to take care of myself because, you know, I'm young. And even though I had lawyers fending for myself and people that came in and helped out sometimes, yay, I don't have to do it myself. Now, okay, so my favorite character in this is, I'd have to say, Dervish, because he sees the funny side of it, and he knows the seriousness of it, and he does what he can to help out his family. Everywhere he travels a lot, probably to help out his family by playing chess games with Lord Lost a lot, because Dervish and Lord Lost greet each other like they've long lost friends who haven't seen each other, well, have seen each other a lot, frequently. So, yeah, he does a lot of that. My most disliked character is Lord Lost, because he enjoys grief, misery, fear. It's all nectar to him, and it's what he feeds on. And he just exists in the world, outside of our world, to feed on our pain and misery and everything like that. What did I think of the story? I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's a great horror. And it reading like horror because it doesn't have massive horror in it because it is for teenagers, but it does have a good amount of horror in it. I mean, like body parts split in half, heads, werewolves being eaten. It does a lot of gritty details of the terror and the reactions and everything of humanity. Did it live up to my expectations? Yes, it did. It was great. I loved it. As you know, this is part of a series. There's 10 books in all for this. What else? I can't remember. What stood out as memorable? Well, this is a unique demon universe. Well, you have demons, a separate universe, but they can interact with the world and they can be summoned into the world. And each of them has their own territory and rules and things that they can apply to their own territory and everything. These demons are vicious. What book did it remind me of? What book has demons in it? Besides the slime one. I can't say that Time Reincarnate Slime because it's not gory in certain ways. I don't think I have one that's demonic and gory. My favorite quote. Oh, no. I don't know if I have a favorite quote. Oh, I guess this would be mine. Favorite quote. You've got to love the game. Chess is life. You have to love it as you love living. If you don't, well, you're not gonna live, obviously. Now, my favorite quote. I guess will have to be that last one. No, this one. Billy isn't your cousin. He's your brother. That'd be my favorite quote. Because what a twist! You didn't see that one coming, did you, Grubs? He's your brother, not your cousin. He's your father's dad, which means he's, like, I think a year younger than Grubs. Which is terrible. Anyways, I rated this a 5 because it's a good starter for world building of this world. Very good. And each one of these books might seem like they don't have any connection to each other, but they do. So we might be talking about something like Demon Thief has nothing to do. The next book is Demon Thief, and that has nothing to do with Grubs. And then there's one actually called Beck that has nothing to do with Grubs either. But they're interconnected in their own way, and honestly, you have to actually pay attention to how they're interconnected and how they connect to each other when you get into the later books. Like, when you read Dark Calling and Hell's Heroes, it really gets you then what is going on with everything and how everything fits in. So, these 10 books are interconnected and they have this very good connection that you don't see until towards the end. So, that's why I think this is a very good introduction into it, and the connections to everything in the end. So, if you guys think I deserve a like, comment, or even your lovely subscription, why don't you go ahead and drop it down below. I will see you next illusion.